Hello everyone, a small disclaimer first. Obviously for some this will be the first time that you actually... I don't like my accent so much, I think you want to, but I think it was necessary for this criterion because there is a lot of stuff to explain and I think it will be clearer for everyone. And you have to note that I am not actually covering the third boss, last mech, which will have its own guide once I have better footage for it. And here we are with the third criterion dungeon, Aloalo, and we start with the ad. So reminder, the ads are quite a challenge by themselves, but they are also quite easy, and I think easier than in the second criterion. So the first one, take them one by one by the way. The first one does a tank buster, which it's quite hard, and after the tank buster, tornado will appear. So tornado will always follow the walls, dodge them like we did, but don't go too close to the tank because it's in AoE, the tank buster that follows. And then we have the crab that does first a share, and then, as you have seen, a cleave in front and behind. If you are best in slot, you can defeat them quite quickly. So you can either take the Montare and deal with her here, or just move like middle like we did. Doesn't matter as long as you don't get knocked back by the tornadoes. The first attack of the Montare is a line AoE, and then it will be a chariot, and then a donut. The donut is quite big, you will see. It's not just the hitbox. And then the final one, so like an octopus, will target members one by one with a very nasty damage over time debuff and a knockback that you can prevent. So don't get knockback in tornadoes, you can prevent the first one if you kill him fast enough. And also I would recommend at least using the basic mitigation, because I can't overstate how much this dot is dealing. You see, the DPS are taking a lot of damage. Panaima here is also very helpful. If you deal with those ads, you will have the save in Criterion normal mode. You can just go back to the boss now, every time you die on the boss. In Savage you will have to do them again, and they will hit harder. So this boss starts the fight with red wide, with a nasty damage over time debuff. So use mitigation before the end of the cast. And then there will be gems, and 2 players will have bubbles and 2 players will have binds. It's always 2 supports and 2 DPS. So what we do is put 1 support north, 1 DPS north. And the bubbles will always go to the right or left of an horizontal gem. You also have to divide the arena in 4 corners, and you always have to stay in the corners of the horizontal gems. So let's say here I have a bubble. My horizontal gem is corner west, so I will just go next to it. If it was where I stand, I will go to its left, because you have to stay in the same corner. And for the bubble, that's it. Pretty easy, right? As a bubble, you will obviously go into a bubble and slide 2 times, and this will always be safe. So you can even pre-place yourself before there is a 1 and 2 and win, etc. So now, if you have binds, you have to check if it's a share or spread. If it's a share, this means that you have to be at the end travel of the opposite bubble. So what you do is check where his safe spot will be. So it will be north east and to the left of his horizontal gem. And you stand there in the diagonal corner opposite. So here I will stand on the left of this tile exactly. And this is it. Quite simple, right? So if you have bubble, you just stand next to the horizontal gem. And if it's bind share, you stand next to the opposite horizontal gem. Now, if I have spread plus bind, I have to check the middle tiles, the 4 middle tiles. So here, in the middle tiles, there is an horizontal gem, right? Just on the right. This means I will have to copycat what the bubble above me should be doing, but in the tile 2, just below. So I go in the 2 tile, it will be on my left here, and as you can see, the horizontal gem just above me is on southwest, so I go south right. And it's done. So if horizontal mid, I mimic what's above me. And it's solved. And the last pattern, as you can understand, will be if the middle tiles have a vertical gem. In this case, I don't copycat what is above me, but what is on the right or left side, the one tile from my teammate. So I start in 2, just as before, and I will copy him, but in the tile numbered 2. So I go in the number 2 tile. I can see it will be on the south left, so I go south left. Okay. Here I will do a mistake, I will hesitate, and I will die for it. But you will see that it was the safe spot. Okay. And this make is over. Next, we'll have a spread and share, or the opposite. I heavily recommend you mitigate once both debuffs gets to 15 seconds. This way it will count for both. So we use the same duo. If it's share, you share on the same tile, and then you spread. So as you can see, I don't take risk. There is room for at least 1 people mid. If you have 2 melees, you can try and put 2 melees there, but the spread are huge, so you should be careful, okay? And then, if you start spread, you just assign 1 corner each. You start by spreading, and then you beat up middle, so middle north and middle south. The share is small, so you have room, don't worry. And there will be line on the ground. They will do AoEs after they have been traced. If it's receding twin tides, you start out and then in. If it's encroaching, you start in and then out. You have to dodge, obviously, the lines when they have been traced. The lines can also be horizontal, as we are seeing right now. But the group always stay north and south. Don't dodge on the side. So here we were out, then in. Then all players will get spread. We will use the priority that we used before in P8S. So the supports will have the priority counterclockwise from west, and the DPS will have priority clockwise from north, okay? You will see what the priority is for. So first there is gems on the floor that won't be moving, don't worry, and it leaves either the horizontal 2 tiles safe, or vertical 2 tiles safe, or corners. So here, obviously, I can only see 2 gems, but it's horizontal, so the 2 on the left and the 2 on the right will be safe. And then the debuffs appears. So, debuffs. Here I have the same debuff as my support partner. We do melee's priority, so I will be the second most counterclockwise, that is opposite to me. Opposite means if I have bind, I will try to find a bubble ad. I go counterclockwise to him. Everyone always go counterclockwise, and then I go just in front of him. Why we go in front? To bait them, but since I don't have the same debuff as my ad, he will go over or not, or I will, and I will dodge the AoE. Okay, let's see another pattern. Okay, so the gems appears. Here it will be vertical save, the 2 north and 2 south. And I have something different from my tank, and I have a bubble. So I have to find the most counterclockwise ad without bubble. So it will be on my right. I will go counterclockwise from him. Everyone always go counterclockwise from him. You can remember this by saying, I will always go clockwise to my ad. It's important because there is a spread, so we can't be on the same spot. And then I go to my ad clockwise. As you can see, I bait him, but since I have a bubble, I will fly and dodge it. Alright, soon to be over, don't worry. There will be a share spread or spread share. So spread first. Use mitigation because it will deal a lot of damage. Start north-south. What we do is 2 on each side. Spread, then meet up mid. Same geos as always. And then there will be first red wide. And 1 bubble will be free. So there is 3 towers on one side and 1 tower on the other side. If you are on the side of the 1 tower, the support will have to cross over. To know within which bubble you cross, you go with one which is far from crystal inside bubbles. So there was 1 crystal in the north bubble and 1 in the middle bubble, so I go in the south bubble. And then each one takes the towers. Be careful of not taking damage from crystals that will be exploding just after the swipe. Okay? And then it's make 1 all over again. So let's see if you remembered. I have a bind. Let's see if it's spread or share. And it's a share. So I will just do what my opposite bubble will do. And I will start on 1. So since the opposite is corner, bottom, left, I go to the right of it. And I will be safe. Okay, this was boss 1. Let's see ad number 2. So nothing much to say here about them. You can only damage them if they have the sword. And when you kill one, the symbols change. So the 2 shielded one will get swords, and the sword will get a shield. The most difficult things, and I'm not kidding, is not to aggro with AoEs like the Garuda stuff or something like that. Do not draw aggro from multiple ads. Tornado is a solo target and you have a bind for 30 seconds, so you have to Ezuna it. Once you are about to kill someone, you can pull another ad. And you have to pull someone with a shield. You can copy your path, I think it's quite good. So here we cross, there will be a huge red wide. The red wide I think is like almost, it deals almost the same damage as the boss. And just after that there is a share. So if you use the mitigation, it can cover both, so it will be cool. So kill it, and obviously here we can't pull the one with the sword, because it will get a shield after we kill this one. Every time you kill someone, the other remaining ads will move faster, so be really careful not to get aggro. We know he will pass mid, so we can just stay there. There is a cast to interrupt. You just seen it. Tornado is a solo target with a bind. I will use Ezuna. We finish him. Each add has a soft rage that will kill you. So this is why you can't pull multiple adds. Even if you survive the red wise, etc., you will die from an rage. Okay, so this is just the red wide. This is a share. And then it's over. It's not too complicated, right? I'll drop his target AoE on someone, so you just have to dodge. We can bait it, I guess. And then we will come to boss 2, Lala. So for Lala, you have to understand that he will do some angled stuff. And just know that each rotation starts with 90 degrees, so 1/4. And if he has the number 3, it will move. So 3 times 90, 270, or minus 90. And if it's 5, it's the same as just 1/4. So here his debuff is 5. So he will do his rotation just 1/4. It can only be 5 or 3. What you can do to quickly compute it is just do -4. 5 minus 4 is 1. So +1 is just in the right direction, you do 90 degrees. If he had a debuff 3, 3 minus 4 is -1. So it will be 1/4 from the opposite. Okay? So he rotates clockwise 90 degrees. Can be clockwise or counterclockwise. Huh? There is a direction to the symbol too. Okay, so I have the Mustadio stuff, and there are lights that will explode when the path goes to them. So there is a light to receive, then there is a dodge, then there is a second light to the north, and then there is your own that you have to angle because you will be moved with your own debuffs. So this is a lot to take in. There is not so much more I can do for you. Just take it slow. This is first light debuff, then the boss, then the second light debuff, then your debuff. You can survive one if you fail. Okay, now you will all get debuffs. First, let's take interest in the share debuffs and the fire number. If the two fire numbers have the same debuffs, so let's say no share or share, they have to split. But if they don't, they can group themselves. You always take the empty AoE in the bottom right corner. Okay? Use this picture as the starting position. You will have a force move that you will have to angle right, and the 3 will always be on the side to join the one who is alone. So here, the 2 have the same debuffs. So there will be 1-2 with me, 1, and 1-2 alone. If the 2 are different debuffs, the 2 will be on the same side on the left. So I angle myself to force move in the right direction, and since I take 1 AoE, I'm safe. The number on the fire debuffs just say how many AoEs you have to take. Okay? And the share resolves. Now, there is a share on the 2, not a share on the other 2. So they can actually stack together, right? I have 3, so we'll have to be on with the 1. So 3 can be on both sides, right? Depends if the 2 are together or not. And be careful, here I started, but my 1 will arrive on my tile before me, right? The 1 only had the right to take 1 tile, so. So I'm 1, the 2 can be together. I angle myself right, and you see, I'm not right at the edge. I'm starting a bit far away. And this way, the 3 will get to the 3rd tile before me, before I get to my 2nd tile. Because I only, I can only take 1. Okay, perfect. And then it's just a red wide. Okay, so this is a tongue buster. And then Spatial Tactics. So, there will be fire stuff detonating and light detonating. There is only one light. You can only take a certain amount of debuffs. So this is a fixed pattern, right? And the light will get you 1. So if you have 1, you can take any line, because when the pathway will go over the square cubic fire stuff, it will explode in a line. So if you have 1, like me, I have to dodge every square, but it's actually quite easy. You stand in the middle, and then you dodge into 1, and then it's finished. So there is really basic movements. If you have 3, we can start on the first cube that will be detonating. So yeah, it's north here, there. And then you can just move middle and wait for the last one. There is only one line that will be safe at the end. Okay, and I don't know if you see, but it's actually harder to get the stacks than to avoid them. So the hardest pattern is when you have the 4. And you have to start next to a cube. You will get 2 with the light plus the cube. So here I'll start here. I sprint towards the 3rd. And then I go mid. You have to sprint because the snapshot is really early. I can't understate how much the snapshot is early. And then it's the first make all over again. So it's 3, so it will be -1, opposite direction. Perfect. And then I think it will be 2 red whites in a row. Or maybe I'm mistaken. Only 1. No, it's 2. 2 red whites in a row. But they don't deal this much. There is no bleed or anything. Okay, and last mech, Symmetric Surge. So, go back to your duo. There will be figures appearing. Those will be your new north. Okay, this is a new north. And you will always stand in those style with that north. And they are always on the same patterns, okay? So you just do your duos that way. It's always this pattern. The figures attacks in line. You go in corners. Right into the corner, and then there is a share. And you resolve the share. It's the same duos as in the boss one. And then it's finished. So, as you can see, this boss is actually quite easy once you understand the 5 and 3 stuff. The first mechanic is almost the most difficult one because it's very quick. Like when you have to do the light boss light hero debuff and you have to angle it right. I struggle a lot with my orientation to put it right. But after that, the boss is quite easy. So yeah, I repeat the first mechanic just after that. And then we will go to the last and third boss. There is no adds between 2 and 3rd. There are no adds between the second and third boss. And Statice is actually quite easy for the first 2/3 of the fight. So you have to understand one thing. She will use bullets, like in the normal mode, I guess. And the first bullet will be a share spread. Then there will be 6 bullets to indicate which pizza slice will be safe. And then the last bullet will say if it's spread or share. It's always the opposite for the last bullet, so you don't even have to track it. So if the first bullet goes down, it's a share. If not, it's a spread. Then you have to remember for the 6 following, and then do the opposite. So here the first fell down, so it was a share first. Then the 4th bullet after that, or the 5th in total, fell down, so it was the 4th slice that was safe. And then we know it will be a spread, You just have to look which bomb will explode and explode all the linked bomb with it. So here, oh yeah, the bombs that are close to us will not explode. They will just disappear. And this is it, basically. She will do it again. So let's see. What is the first one? It didn't fall off. So it's a spread first. And then the third fell off. So the third slice will be safe. So it's spread, third slice safe, share. Here one bomb will explode with the other two, and you have to remember which one. It will always be clockwise, so it's quite easy. 3 people will have darts, so symbolized with a circle, and they have to land after the bomb detonated on different colors. So here yellow, blue, and red. Ideally, you can call it if you're on voice call. If you're on PF, I don't know yet how you can do it. Just stand maybe beforehand and check which color is missing, I guess. So it will be the third slice that will be safe. 1 is always north, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in clockwise. The 2 button exploding will do a knockback, so you can immune both. And there will also be darts, which were thin lines that you can dodge actually. And then it was the share. Okay, another red white. And we will get to the difficult parts. Fortunately or not, depending on how you see it, the boss won't be targetable, so you can just focus on the mechanic. Okay, let's check the bombs first. This is the easy pattern. There is the right shaped triangle that will be safe, and what it is pointing will be where the enumeration circle will go. What is in the diameter will be the chains. So if you have chains, you start mid. So missiles will get chains. So if you have a missile targeting you, you go middle, wait for the chains, and then go opposite your missile, break the chain, and then dodge. If you have enumeration circle, we will see this pattern now, you go just on the pointy thing of your triangle. So it will be on my left, but I have hands following me, so I have to bait them away a bit, else I will come to my circle at the end. And if a hand reaches you, you die. It's one shot. So bait it a bit mid, and then do the animation circle. Perfect. Okay, but unfortunately there is a really hard pattern where the triangles are crossed. So if it's crossed, you have to always get a diameter 3 for the chains. So what we do is the most left diameter is for the chains, and the remaining right point, so here on the left of my screen, will be for enumeration. So if I have enumeration, I will go to the left. If I have the rocket, I will do the diameter. So here I have the end. I will go near 4 at the end of my enumeration. And here you will see, okay, there is 2 safe spots. There is one really tiny on the left of 4, right? And there is also one on the left of D, which is a bit bigger, so this is where we should have gone. Okay. And I'm sorry to let you down, but I do not have any footage of the last mech. But I still wanted to get this guide out, because I think it will be useful. But I can explain you the basic stuff for it. So there will be a dot that is pinned. It's blue. There is 2 darts on people, so they have to get red and white. Okay? There will be rotating AoEs, right? Good stuff. Now there will be also an enumeration and a chain. The 2 chains have to start mid, break the chain, then you stand on the colors that you choose, and then the enumeration must resolve. Hopefully, I will do a guide soon about this mech, and after this mech, it's quite easy, with just like a force move with spread and share. Good luck on your clear, I hope this was clear enough for you to prog. There will also be a guide for this specific last third boss mech once I have better footage for it. If you have any comments, questions, don't be afraid to ask them in the comments. Cheers!